And then...
Welcome back.
Hi, how was your day? Full moon's almost here. I'll be on standby in the dorms tomorrow, like usual, so make sure everything's ready today. Well, good luck. I know everyone is going to do great. I better go ahead and save here, then. Come to think of it, the crops I planted on the rooftop should be ready for harvest by now. Maybe I should go check on them. I definitely should. Kann ich noch Deutsch sprechen? Ja. Ich kann noch mein Deutsch benutzen, aber es ist nicht am besten, weil ich es nicht so viel benutze. Ich habe es gelernt von die kleine Kinderschule bis die 12. Klasse und ich habe mein Sprachdiplom, so ich könnte Arbeit oder Schule in Deutschland machen. Aber ich mag es mehr hier in Kanada. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich sollte in Deutschland für 1 Jahr oder 2 Jahre einen Tag leben. Wenn ich das mache, dann werde mein Deutsch perfekt sein. Aber ich denke, es wird ein bisschen schwer, das zu machen, so. Ich denke, für jetzt sollte ich noch hier in Kanada bleiben, aber vielleicht einen Tag sollte ich das machen, weil ich kann das machen. Ich habe nicht so viele Leute, dass ich Deutsch sprechen mit kann, und das ist, warum mein Deutsch nicht so gut ist. Vielleicht einen Tag würde ich ein bisschen deutsche Content finden, und dann, wenn ich das anschaue, dann werde mein Deutsch ein bisschen besser sein. Weil jetzt, ich denke, dass ich jetzt nur... I'm just losing it over time, is what I'm trying to say. And there's stuff like that where it's like, I have to really rack my mind to think about how to even say that. So basically, I was just saying that, like, I have my Sprachdiplom, which is basically like my German diploma, which means that I can take school or work in Germany if I want, because I've spent, like, most of my life learning German alongside English. And during streams before that, I've had, like, native German speakers come into the stream, even if my grammar isn't perfect, and even if, like, I don't know the words for everything because I'm, like, don't have all that many opportunities to be practicing it. Native German speakers are always super impressed, being like, whoa, you don't have, like, an English accent mixed into your German. Because if someone learns German later in life, then, like, their native language kind of accent is going to bleed into, like, the secondary language, typically. But people often tell me that the way that I speak is in the manner of a native German speaker, even if my grammar isn't exactly perfect. So, like, I am relatively confident in being able to... Well, this isn't where I need it to be. I am pretty confident in being able to express whatever I need to express, even if it is in, like, a pretty roundabout way, because maybe I forget, like, the specific word for something, because I don't have that many opportunities for practicing it nowadays. But, like, if I did go and live in Germany for a year or two, that my Sprachdiplom would let me do, like, I could take work there, like, I would be able to get by just fine. Like, it might be a little bit difficult at first with me trying to figure out how to say certain things, but I'd be able to, like, pick it up in no time, and that would be the way to become, like, truly fluent, would be living there for a year or two. But I have too many projects and, like, obligations and stuff here that I don't really see that happening. So, but it is the option on the table if I ever want it. And I can put on my resume that I speak 2 languages, even if I'm not quite fluent. I can express whatever I need to express. I'm a lot better at understanding than I am speaking, I would say. Like, there's a lot of words that maybe I won't have ever heard before, but given context clues, I can be like, oh yeah, that makes sense. I know exactly what that means. I get what's going on here, you know. But yeah, apparently last Blockbuster has its own website. Oh geez. German only stream now? You know, my German exchange partner from grade 8, that, so in the 8th grade, we went on an exchange trip to Germany where we lived with a German partner for a while and, like, go to school with them and go on field trips and activities with them, and vice versa, where they come and live here for a little while. I lived there with him for 1 week, he lived here with us for 2 weeks, so he got it better than my class did. But my thing is done. But with delay, now it shows that it's done. But there was a time that he used to stop by into the streams from time to time. Like, we still have one another's Discord. We can get in contact with one another, and we're still friends even if we don't. Like, it's just one of those connections that you're not always chatting with, like, all the time super regularly, but you know that the other is there for one another. Point is, at one point, him and I were discussing potentially playing some game together on this channel. And first, how that conversation came to be is my cousin, who lives on Vancouver Island, him and I were talking about potentially playing Don't Starve together on the channel here, because he was really into it at the time. He works as a philosophy professor there. And he'd just be someone, like, really interesting to be streaming with, and hear what he always has to say playing Don't Starve as a philosophy prof. So we were gonna do that, and I mentioned that to my German exchange partner, and he was like, oh, I have, like, extra copies of it, or something like that. Or something or other, like extra units of it on his Steam account, or however the heck that works. And he just gifted one to me, and I was like, oh, okay, thank you. So my old German partner gifted that to me, and I was gonna start playing it with my cousin. And then from there, if I had time and we were able to figure it out, potentially do like a playthrough with my German partner, and then just do like a single playthrough that's in German, and then it's an excuse for me to like practice my German a little bit. And then it's like the one singular German playthrough on the channel, just for the sake of like my own practice and stuff, or for however many German viewers could be tuning into my streams, which is probably not very many. Let's grab this. Grab this big pot. But that never actually ended up happening here. Yeah, let's see here. Go ahead and take this off. Bam! There. This is like a 9-hour print, this thing. Go ahead and put these other pots in here. Oh, that won't quite actually fit in. Well, it can fit on top. Here. There's all the things I needed to print for my Oma's friend. So I'll go ahead and take that over to my Oma's place the next time I go over there. And the next time her friend comes to visit, she can pick up her stuff. I don't really need to get the plastic off right now, but I'm so dang close. No, whatever. I'll get it off another time. I'll stick that on properly sometime later. It doesn't have to be perfect right now. It's not like I'm printing right now. Yeah, let's just see here. I'm German anyways, because my family's half German. Is the case. My mom's side is German, and my dad's side is technically also German if you go further down the family tree, but they kind of stopped being German during World War II for obvious reasons. I kind of dropped the language and never picked it back up, so go far back enough in my dad's family and German background there too. But it's mostly my mom's side that's German, and I still have a lot of family in Germany. So I grew up learning that and speaking a lot of it with my Oma and Opa. My dad doesn't speak any German at all. English is his only language. And my mom did learn German growing up, but never really continued practicing it. So it's like, she can understand what people are saying to her in German, but I don't know when the last time I've heard her actually speak it in return was. Like, I remember when in 2022, her and I were going to Italy because she was going on a business trip and I was tagging along. And we had to go through Germany, like, on a transfer flight. I remember one of the staff that she was talking to in the airport quickly picked up that she could understand German, but she wasn't speaking it herself. So the two of them were having a full-on conversation where the staff member was talking to her completely in German and she was speaking back completely in English, and just back and forth and back and forth. And I thought it was the funniest thing. But like, I don't really speak German with my mom. She would probably be like very confused with me if I tried. And she'd just be like, okay, now you're just trying to show off that you can speak it better than I can. I feel like that's what she would probably say if I tried to speak it with her. I should probably practice speaking it more with my Oma. That's what I should try to do to be more on top of it. But yeah, I grew up in the German bilingual program. So all the way from die kleine Kinderschule, which is before kindergarten. It's like a year before kindergarten, up until the 12th grade, I was learning German. And so in elementary school, half of my classes were in German. So German class was in German, math was in German, gym was in German, and social studies / history was in German. I think those were the 4 classes that we were being taught in German. And it was always like the first half of the day was in German, and then the second half of the day was in English. So we would switch languages at lunchtime, and that's how it would go. Then in junior high school, it was just German class, and social studies class was in German. Actually, I think social studies then was in English in elementary school, and it was some other class that was in German. I don't remember, but it was just those two, just German and social studies in German in junior high school. And then in high school, with like all the options, just German class was in German at that point, and no other German classes. But like, we grew up literally speaking it half the time, so like we were very familiar with it. But we were also never really taught the basics of grammar. It's something that we were just kind of expected to pick up. So there's 3 different ways of saying the in German. There's der, die, and das, where der is masculine, die is feminine, and das is neutral. And das can also translate to that. It can mean the, or it can mean that, depending on the context. And I remember in high school, like, we were about to be tested on like some much more high level thing, and then the teacher started to realize that we sucked at what endings we should have to words, where it's like eine, einem, einen, stuff like that. Like, really struggled with what ending we should have at the end of words, depending on whether it's der, die, or das. So he was like, you know what, you guys, let's have a test where it's just the chart, where it's like der, die, das, and then your different word endings, and you just have to memorize the chart and fill it in. And if like 90% of the class gets 90% or better or something like that. Maybe it was 90% of the class or better aces the test, gets 100% on it, then he'll buy the entire class donaires. And that's what happened. And he bought the entire class donaires, and he was like a really awesome teacher who I really quite liked. So he was probably like my favorite teacher growing up through the German program. And my second favorite might have been my junior high school teacher, because she came from like all over the place. So she didn't have like any one accent to like any one place. So the way that she spoke was always like really crazy. And I distinctly remember the things that she would say to people. She'd be like, "You guys, if you're not being quiet, then I send you into the corner and then I make you do push-ups." It's the way that she would talk. But she was a super sweet old lady, and that was always fun there. But that was what I grew up with. And then when university came around, I was like, okay, I do want to keep on being in German classes so that I can practice it. Like, just so that I'm not losing the language and I'm still continuing to learn new things. So my first university that I went to, they only had like the first 2 levels of German. So it's like first year German and second year German that are both like beginner courses that are meant for people that have never learned the language before. So they normally wouldn't let somebody that literally has a diploma in the language take the class, but because they didn't have like any other options for me, they were like, we'll make an exception and just let you take like the second year of the beginner classes, take that class. And I was like, okay, well, maybe that'll be easy marks and an easy way for me to raise my GPA. Like, I have my diploma in this already, like this will be super easy peasy. Oh my god, that beginner German class is probably like one of the most difficult classes I've ever been in my life. I kid you not. Like, it was such an unexpected, sleeper difficult class for me. And the reason is because I was learning German in a way that I never learned it before. The teacher would like write on the whiteboard sentences and be like, all right, identify the different words in this sentence. Which one is the past predicate? Which one is the past participle? And all these terms that I never heard of. And I was like, what the hell does this even mean? So I was like the one person in the class there that could speak German apart from the teacher. But in terms of the stuff that I was expected to memorize, all these things that I had literally never heard of before, I struggled in that class, I'm gonna be honest. Like, I don't think my grades in it were all that amazing. And I literally have a diploma in the language. So yeah, that was a little bit of a struggle. And then in second year, when I transferred to my new university, that is the university that I finished at all the way up to year 7 earlier this year. That university has beginner German classes all the way up to like third year beginner German classes. But after that first year, I was like, no, I think I'm done with beginner German classes. I think I'm good here, thank you. And I just haven't taken a German class since then. I've been focusing on a whole lot of other things like history and environmental science and computing science, those being like my 3 main focuses through university. That and video game design classes to get my certificate in that. So I guess my 4 main focuses. And I just didn't really touch language stuff at all for the rest of my university degree. And I was afraid that if I did with German, it would just like lower my GPA and make me like really struggle. So I never took one again. And nowadays, like, I feel like my German's just gonna get rustier and rustier from lack of use. All right, well, I can get you to go towards your second skill up thingamabob, and maybe that's what I'll do here. Let's go ahead and save here really quickly. So yeah, that's my background with German, is the case. So I am a American German Canadian. I was born in the States, I live in Canada, and my family has a German background, and I speak German. So yeah, German American Canadian, that's me. is the case here. But yeah, let's see here. And like extra Steam keys? Yeah, extra Steam keys there. You do have a couple of random Steam keys? Oh geez. Slide. Mom was nagging you to compile some cash to renew your passports and travel to Vancouver for next summer. Vancouver's a pretty nice place. I've been there a couple times. It's a nice place to visit, extremely expensive place to live. Is certainly the case. I remember when Guzmo was on his way through Vancouver on a cruise all the way up to Alaska, and he was sending me pictures of Vancouver and being like, whoa, it's really nice here. I was like, yeah, I know, I've been there. It is pretty nice. And he was saying that in terms of where he'd want to live long term if he moves out of New Orleans, that maybe Vancouver should be on his list of places to potentially move. I was like, yeah, unless you get like a super insanely well-paying job, I don't think that's happening. It is so expensive to live in Vancouver. Like, my goodness. Kind of the same for your Spanish class, where if you were to speak Spanish, you were expected to speak Spanish correctly. but you passed with the B+, so that's handy. I took 3 years of beginner Spanish in high school, and that wasn't too bad, and I don't remember anything about Spanish at this point. But it was a bit of a struggle at some point, but I was able to still do well in that class because half of the class was testing you on the culture, like focusing on Latin American culture, not like Spain's Spanish culture, but Latin American Spanish is what we focused on. And half the class was just testing you on the culture and teaching that. So I was able to still do pretty well in the class, even if I struggled with the language. How hard is it to get citizenship to Canada from America? I don't know. I moved here when I was 2 months old. So I've lived here all my life, so like, I don't know. But in case that's something that Guzma would want to know, I wouldn't be able to tell him, and I've just put him in contact with a Swedish chef friend that would actually know how that is, because yeah, I wouldn't know it. Hey, I want to use the kitchen. Alright, rules about sharing ingredients and dishes we can use, stuff like that. I want to hear more about the kitchen rules from you. I'll return the favor. Sure, let's spend time with him and then he'll work towards getting his next skill unlocked. Alright, let's go. You would want to know as well if American politics keeps going the direction it is? Yeah, I remember several years back when Trump was first elected, we had a lot of American refugees come to Canada. And a lot of people don't like using that term, like thinking like, oh, refugee typically means like it's some war-torn country and they have to get away from that for the sake of their own lives. And it's like, nope, refugee can mean wanting to get away from your own country for a lot of different reasons. And so I remember Trump being elected. We had a lot of American refugees that are like, yeah, nope, let's go live in Canada instead. So we kind of got a lot of influx of new people during that time. But yeah, pero hablas un poco de español? I know hablas, like speaking. I know español. Pero is probably like the start of some sort of question, and I forget which. I don't remember anything about the language from my beginner Spanish classes. Like, I still remember German because I was literally raised with it. But
I see.
Spanish kann ich nicht sprechen. Wow, I can't even speak German now with correct pronunciation. What the heck? My brain is fried.
Oh, I forgot to mention, but I'm making
right after I said that I'm speaking German without like a strong English accent. I just say sprechen instead of sprechen all of a sudden. It's because we've been talking about the American side of me. You're making it?
I said I'd thank you, didn't I? If you don't want it, I could put the meat away. But that's a pain, so just eat it. Alright then. Time to get started. The rice
Vielleicht solltest du ein gutes Apfelstrudel kuchen.
I like extra large portions.
Oder vielleicht ein gutes Schnitzel? Schnitzel ist eine meiner Lieblingsdeutsche Dinge zu essen. Warum kenne ich nicht die Worte, dass ich hier möchten, dass ich benutze möchten? Mein Gott. Crunchy, flaky, breaded pork topped with half-cooked egg. I could eat this all day.
Looks like you're a fan, huh?
I try to speak German, I'll just randomly skip a word sometimes.
Anyone can make this, as long as they practice. Today we just had the rice and toppings. But you could add side dishes too. Well, give it a try when you have time.
Vielleicht will ich. Ich habe ein exquisite Katsudon gekriegt.
All right. I did my part to thank you. You handle the cleanup.
Nein! Auf Wiedersehen. Alright, it's full moon day. Can I shop too? Maybe? Will it let me? Do I still have the day? We have full moon tonight. A powerful shower will appear. I should stay home today and conserve my strength. Home shopping show? Nope. Whoa! Lag. It's weird because, again, I don't know why my computer should be lagging.
I've located the target.
We're getting close to the game being good, so it has to lag now and make itself worse. Station Plaza.
This will be the 10th shadow.
Okay.
Only a few left. Let's just worry about them one at a time.
If they actually appear one at a time.
Please tell me I beat this boss, and then bam, plot twist, and the game gets good.
Yukari-chan.
Plot twist, and I get crucified.
I sense 2 of
Because
them.
I've been waiting this whole game to get crucified, knowing that that was a thing.
Seriously?
Like,
Me and my big mouth.
Where's Shinji?
He notified me that he'll be joining us later.
What?
He didn't say why, though.
Figures. He's always played by his own rules.
Like, I remember saying this during Final Fantasy 16 recently, where I've been waiting for this game to get good, and like the one big spoilery thing that I knew of ahead of time is that there's something to do with crucifixion later. So I've been waiting for this game to get good for so long. I've been waiting for that for so long. And I remember during Final Fantasy 16, I was kind of like, what's the hold up here? What's going on? I've been waiting for so long on the edge of my seat for this to happen, when it's like, come on, I want to get crucified now. Should we wait a little longer?
I'm sure it's fine. He said he's coming later, right?
Yeah, that's already better than a certain someone who didn't show last time.
Hey, come on, that wasn't my fault. Don't worry, I'm totally ready to go this time. See?
Wait. Amada-kun isn't here either. Hey, Junpei, go get him. That'll be your punishment for last time.
Punishment? What is this, kindergarten? Well, I guess it is a kid's bedtime.
The kid and the
Alright,
edgelord
we've
are
got
gonna
2
betray us
targets
and
this
crucify
time.
us.
Let's get moving. We'll decide on our team formation once we
Just
get there.
imagine.
Let's go.
Okay, so I have to choose among these guys?
Look, there they are. This is the route we always take to school. We've got to protect it.
It's almost like they're waiting for us.
By the way, where's Amada?
He wasn't in his room, so who knows?
Shinji's late too.
Oh, I was planning on using him.
We should probably hurry.
But
I think they're about to
maybe
make
not
their
then.
move.
Maybe I will use Aegis after all,
Then we have
after
no
I said I
choice.
wouldn't.
Let's organize a team from the members we have here. Once we're safe,
Okay.
we'll move in.
Okay. Whoops. That's the wrong button there. I forgot I have this as a button here. That'll be handy during the 24-hour cherry stream. I forgot about that one. But yeah. I do speak a little Spanish, the translation. Like, I can do some of the pronunciation. I'm still probably super rusty on that as well. I mean, in theory, just crossing the border as an asylum seeker is an option, but it's not desirable if things get bad enough quick enough. Yeah, what I'm really worried about the coming elections, especially if it's close. I mean, even if it's not close, this might still be the case. I'm worried about riots breaking out. Like, no matter which way it goes, either or. Like, I can definitely see riots breaking out. Like, it's been a long time since I've seen a presidential election this heated and people at each other's throats. Like, it's scary stuff. It's the case. Yeah, we let Shinji cook. Yeah. Hopefully not here. Don't think it's a guarantee even if we get a second Trump presidency, it just becomes a lot more likely. Yeah, we shall see here. Degenerate like you belong on a cross. Yeah, that's what they'll say. I wanted to check that charm that I got. Magic talisman. Plus 50 SP. Oh, that could be handy when I'm like in Tartarus for a while. For this coming encounter, I don't think it's really gonna matter. And I think Koromaru is good to have along for long Tartarus trips with the, with being able to hit like a couple different weaknesses. But in terms of boss battles and just going at the boss for a decent while, I mean that and getting some decent damage that way. But I feel like that might not be the most useful thing. So maybe I get Mitsuru so I can lower the foe's defense. So she can do that. And then I guess for my physical attacker, because Shinjiro isn't here, might just make sense. And of course, always bringing Yukari. I think that makes sense. I can check and make sure that their stuff is good. That I haven't gotten some better things here. Oh, I could probably get some better things for you, but like... Ah, yes, I guess would really much like that, huh? Oh, you have the new summer garb. I don't care. Yeah, okay, this is fine. But yeah, no matter what, you think there'll be riots no matter what. If Trump loses, for sure. If he doesn't, I don't know. It comes down if Project 2025 comes to fruition. If it does, people choose to go down fighting. Or democracy goes down with a whimper. Yeah, I had never heard of Project 2025 until it came up on stream. And then after that stream, I just looked it up on Wikipedia and like skimmed through. And it's like, oh. Like, I was extremely surprised by what I was reading. Or what do I go? This way? You ready? Sure. Let's go. Let's do it. Good luck.